Breaking news for our viewers at home. Darren Bailey has officially taken the Republican nomination for governor. We're calling it here at 8:38. The race we can call is the Democratic primary for Illinois governor. We're calling it right here bright and early at 7:50 that Governor J.B. Pritzker has won this race with 15% of the votes in. Pritzker has 93% of those votes, almost 183,000. Illinois is one of the biggest pro-choice states in the country. If Roe v. Wade is overturned, Governor Pritzker wants to make Illinois an abortion oasis for the Midwest. Are you supportive of that idea, or would you work with legislators to make the state more pro-life? Kelly Blue Book says that the average EV costs about $56,000. How's the federal government working to make sure that electric vehicles are more affordable for more Americans? An ad against you claims you called Donald Trump an idiot and a bigoted racist. It showed text messages. Did you send these texts? Do you foresee this model with cars being taken into boats, trains, and planes in the future? This 25-page lawsuit in my hands was filed just minutes ago by Keith Altman's office, the attorney representing Pierre and Gail Vaughn. They're the parents of this man, Christopher Vaughn, who has been convicted of killing his wife and 3 children on June 14, 2007. Now the prosecution is stating part of the DNA evidence submitted before a grand jury was fraudulent. Altman alleges the Illinois State forensic scientists, quote, tampered with the laboratory reports, end quote, labeling one draft, yet submitting a different report after the grand jury hearing. In the draft report, Altman's complaint claims Kimberly Vaughn, Christopher's wife, was listed as a suspect. The final submission only listed Christopher as the suspect. Altman tells me he's requesting the court remove draft from the July 3rd, 2007 lab report and add Kimberly Vaughn back as a suspect on the July 26, 2007 report.
Part of this, we're also working in parallel to file a motion to see that Chris's conviction be vacated because the underlying grand jury indictment is corrupted. And, at that point, at the worst, get him a new trial, a new grand jury and a new trial. At the best, perhaps, that he's released.
Now, this case gained nationwide attention after the 2021 podcast series titled Murder in Illinois. Keith Altman tells me he expects the defendants to file a motion to dismiss the complaint. I'll have more details coming up in our morning rush at 6:50. Joe Gatto, famously known for the Impractical Jokers, is now on a journey of his own. And he joins me now to talk about how his path plays in Peoria. Hey, Joe.
Hi, how are you? That was very well put.
And Secretary, you just announced that about 3,000 or more deaths happen on the roadways in the United States each month.
That's right.
What are you guys working to do to make cars more safe and also roadways? So, Jamie, what do we know so far? I know that we are calling this a homicide investigation, right? We've noticed there's been kind of an uptick in gun violence here in the city of Peoria this year. How taxing is this on you and your department? And before we go, how important is it for people out in the community to talk to you, talk to your office, and also the Peoria Police Department when it comes to these investigations? Coming up, multiple arrests made and empty stands with no fans after a brawl ensues here at Peoria High School. Coming up, we'll hear how the district is moving forward. An investigation with Peoria Public Schools personnel is ongoing. Peoria police detectives are also looking for other people, trying to identify them to end up arresting them. Good morning, Kyrie. And yes, I'm joined live here by Dr. Sheehan, the superintendent of Peoria Public Schools. We're going to talk about Friday and back to where we are today. Dr. Karat, thanks so much for being with us this morning. First breaking news now. A gun incident leads to Peoria High School going on lockdown. Our own Demetria Sanders is live outside the high school, who just spoke to a mother who says that her child tackled the person with a gun. On one side, it's a photo of State Rep and Pekin Mayor Mark Luft with 3 bullet points about him. On the other side, it's this. First of all, this picture from 2013 is photoshopped. The man on Travis's right is one of his family friends, he says, not Governor J.B. Pritzker. Now let's dive into the 2 bullet points Luft describes Weaver with. The first saying he shares the same insider circles as J.B. Pritzker and Mike Madigan. Travis took to Facebook to refute this claim, saying, quote, "It is an absurd statement to make. I have never hung out with them. I don't have any friends who have hung out with them." Later saying, quote, "I would recognize them if I saw them because they ransacked our state, but that's about it," end quote. Luff's second claim is that Weaver is not a real Republican. I received Travis's voting records from the Peoria County Election Commission, where from what I can access, has only ever voted Republican. Luff, on the other hand, has voted Democrat in 5 out of the last 10 primary elections. His last time voting Democrat on public record was 2008. After fully assessing this ad, I'm determining it to be completely false. There is no logical explanation for either of Luff's claims against Weaver, and his photoshopped photo putting Pritzker's face on another man is completely misleading.
I wouldn't say it's disingenuous. I'd say it's a lie.
That's Democratic candidate for Secretary of State Alexi Janulius' response to a recent TV ad released by his opponent, Anna Valencia. In the ad, it says this.
And even lectured us to unite behind Donald Trump.
You see in the ad the date from the Chicago Tribune article, November 7th, 2016. This was the day before election night, so no candidate was the president-elect when this article was released, which if you read the article, it never says for Americans to unite behind Donald Trump. Instead, he leaves it open-ended, saying, quote, he or she must unify our polarized nation, end quote.
Not only am I proud of that op-ed, and I wish more people sort of didn't view things as Democrat, Republican. It was just let's get things done. I find it horrible that someone who's down, 20 points feels the need to, compare me to Trump or whatever she's saying on TV.
I asked Valencia about this ad and if she found it misleading. Here was part of her response.
Well, I definitely stand by my ad. I think words matter. And actions should match your words. Your words have consequences. And certainly before the election, I think it's inappropriate to be saying, let's rally around this guy who led the insurrection.
But again, according to Alexi's op-ed in the Chicago Tribune, he said for Americans to rally behind either candidate. This section of the ad is false and misleading.